I did hear, I think it was the mayor of Maui saying that if you live on Maui and you can possibly fit someone else in your house, now's the time to do it. As a real estate agent, as someone who loves real estate, one of the first things I think of is, where are we going to put these people and how quickly can they rebuild? And I don't know what Maui will do, but I know like on Kauai in 1992 when Hurricane Nikki hit, it was a Category 5. It was also devastating. The county went out of their way to help get people where they could rebuild as soon as possible. I assume that Maui will do something similar. One of the good news is that there seems to be a ton of people donating. I've heard from several sources that they don't want people shipping over food or supplies. They've basically said send money. I think the Maui Food Bank and the American Red Cross are two great organizations to donate to if you can. I just heard that Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez have donated $100 million. I know that President Biden has declared it a national disaster zone, so that will bring in federal aid dollars as well. A really good friend of mine, her sister and her family were on Maui. They left the day the fire started. When they landed, they couldn't get to their hotel, so they've been sleeping on the floor of a church building. There are these temporary shelters that have been set up, but the real question is, from my perspective, how quickly can we get people back into their actual homes, which means how quickly can we rebuild? I haven't heard any plans for anything immediate. And I wonder if they will do some of these kit homes that are almost ready. I don't know if that will be the solution, but maybe it's a solution. You can buy an ADU actually from Home Depot and they'll mail it to you, right? Now that's not going to work for everyone, but it might work for some people. What I think we're going to see, people who have mortgages have insurance. And people who live in family properties with no mortgage that were paid off a generation ago, or maybe not that long ago, but that have been paid off for a while, those are the ones that aren't going to have insurance. And those are the ones that financially, we should really help them rebuild, in my opinion. Clients, when they are building on Kauai, if they're buying a lot and they're building, I will say to them, even if you're super organized, you should plan on it taking 1.5 years, right?
Yes.
And it usually takes 2 years. I don't know if they're going to do some kind of huge temporary housing community, which could then turn into maybe affordable housing. I mean, that would be a great idea. Maui needs affordable housing. I don't know how to put that all together. Or I would have some ideas, but obviously it's a complicated thing to put together. A friend of mine from high school lived in Lahaina. He's lost his house. I don't know what his future plans are. I have a realtor friend who lives in Lahaina. Fortunately, her house did not burn. But, the community there is really hurting. What's being reported, and I think this is true based on the footage I've seen, they've just started to send in cadaver dogs. And the death toll everyone seems to be saying it's going to go much higher. Because of these 80-mile-an-hour winds, the fire spread so quickly. People weren't evacuated because the fire moved so quickly. People who are unfamiliar with Hawaii might not understand the geography of the state, but there are what we call 4 main islands, and those 4 main islands are all a county, and some of those counties have additional islands, right? Like Kauai County is the island of Kauai and the island of Niihau. Maui County is Maui, Molokai, Ko'olave, and Lanai. Before the Hawaiian Islands were united, each island acted as its own island kingdom. They were independent of each other. And in my opinion, to a large degree, we still do that. I mean, Hawaii is a state. We have a lot in common, but just for example, building requirements are different on Maui than they are on Kauai. Laws in regards to real estate are very different on all the islands. It's why when you're thinking about buying or selling, you need to talk to someone who's an expert on your island. And in that same sense, even though Maui's about a 35-minute flight away, they're our sister island. And even though we have a lot of things that are different, we have a lot of things in common. People keep asking me, how are you doing? And I mean, the physical environment on Kauai is normal. Our hearts are just, we see what's going on Maui, and we're so devastated for the people that are facing this tragedy. How long they're going to be in this state is very disheartening. Now, I did hear the mayor of Maui say that he had spoken with Derek Kawakami, who's the mayor of Kauai and the mayor of Oahu and the Big Island, and they had all said, Maui has asked for visitors not to come for a minute, but the other mayors are saying people can still come to our islands. Tourism is the economic lifeblood of Hawaii. These people are going to need help for a long time. So if you can donate money, they're saying, please do that. I am sure there are other ones that are there doing a lot of good that could also use your donations. The two organizations I feel like are good to donate to would be the Maui Food Bank and the American Red Cross.